Alright, hello and yellow. It's time for another art stream in the morning. So here we go. Oh no, I gotta put actual layer here to work on. Anyways, hope that you're all doing well this morning. I am doing okay. The fan is going. I think I'm gonna have to turn up actual AC later. I think it's going to get hot. But for now, just the fan on. And today we're doing still a little bit more just base fills for Eldritchrune stuff. I haven't had time to work on much else for that, and this is always something that needs doing, so we're doing it now. I gotta work on doing shading for the backgrounds as well at some point. So this is a thing that I can make progress on, so progress we shall make. And then hopefully next week I'll have more on the garrison scene to do, since I want to get back to that, but I'm trying to finish commissions first. I'm working on that most of this last week, and I still have some more to do this week, but hopefully they will be done in a soon-like situation. I will work on those tomorrow. But today, we're doing this. So yes, if you're joining, I hope that things are going well for you. Alphys is being her usual self, including, I just realized I went too far. It's not what I intended to do. Be gone. Noelle, you're so full of pointies. It's gonna take forever to get through all these because of all the pointy bits. But she is full of pointy bits. Just like Alphys, my lizard, also covered in pointy bits. And all that. I keep wondering if I should work on, like, shading backgrounds on stream as well, but I don't know if that would be more or less interesting than the characters. No point. She is pointy. I guess she's partially soft because of the fur, but the parts I gotta fill in are pointy. Also, the antlers are very pointy. Unlike in canon where she has pretty round antlers, and seems like Carol's the one that got the sharp antlers. The sharp, scary antlers. Anyways, I hope that you are doing well. Sure has been weird stuff in the fandom lately, it feels like. But, yeah. That's fandom for you. I need more water. I think I'm getting too old to have kids' cereals anymore, which sucks. I did hear the news about the series. I'm honestly not sure how to feel about it for a number of reasons. Like, I'm not surprised that Toby's working on that, because yeah, duh, he's done voice acting in the past. He got popular off his Homestuck music, so that part doesn't surprise me. The part that I'm kind of about is one, I'm not certain, like, I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, how far along in production is this? Like, I know an animator who worked on the pilot, so obviously the pilot's done, but I'm like, okay, as a series, how far along in production is this? Because from the limited information that I got, I kind of get the sense that both Hussey and Vivziepop are not the best managers, I guess. Like management's kind of a difficult thing, which like is understandable. Again, the importance of a good producer cannot be overstated. As a creative type, it is really easy to go outside the. Oh, darn it! I pressed the cereals. It's really easy to kind of go outside the scope of what you want and the budget. Yeah, I don't even know if Vivzi's actively involved. It might just be a company that started under her, so who knows about that. But even just that with, like, Hussey's management skills. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. That's so many months. That's like a little over 2 years. Ah! Thank you. I super appreciate that. So yeah, it could just be like her management company. She may not be involved at all. But I still kind of worry about Hussey's management abilities. And I'm kind of like, okay, how involved is he in this? Is he passing this on? Or they, I know they use all pronouns. Are they passing this off to different producers and directors and stuff like that? Is there direct involvement kind of thing going on? Like, who is managing this, basically? And part 2, yeah, Hussey is all pronouns, just like me. Any all, so I think he, him, she, or they, them, and it's all of them work. So, and 2, I'm kind of not sure how you would adapt Homestuck into an animated series. I feel like it's kind of like trying to adapt Undertale or Deltarune into an animated series, and I don't really think it would work. Like, part of what made Homestuck what it is so special and all that was the unusual format involved with it, the player participation, the fact that it's a web series and that it has all these components for you know, experiencing it as a web series. As you know, like, yeah, the animations were a big deal, but so was, you know, like the parts where you played as a game, and the interaction part where people named John Egbert and all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of like, how are you gonna do this in a medium that's you know, where the audience is a passive participant by nature? Again, I feel like it's the same thing as Undertale Deltarune, where trying to adapt it is you're gonna lose something in that. I'm not sure how you would do it. So I'm intrigued and a little concerned. Definitely seen a wide variety of responses. I'm not super worried about Toby's involvement. Like, he's gonna make music. The music is gonna be good, of course. He's voicing John. Okay, he's done voices in the past. That makes sense. He has strong ties to Homestuck. Sure, like like that all sounds normal. Again, I'm kind of like, how are you going to adapt this, and who is managing this? Yeah, the trolls you don't get to for a long time. You gotta do all that build up, and then the trolls are not going to make sense unless you do have all this build up. Yeah, he's voicing the MC. He's voicing John. If you're going to call anyone a main character, it's John. Even though there's 10 bajillion characters. I don't think he's just doing music to watch it crash and burn. I think he actually has strong ties to Homestuck. People don't want to, like, admit this sometimes, but no. Toby got his popularity and start with Homestuck. That is why Undertale's Kickstarter succeeded 10 times over. There was not, like, Homestuck was in the middle of a big gigapause or whatever, and people were desperate for content, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna make this game, and so everybody, like, supported it, and that's part of the reason why Undertale did well, because of Homestuck. These two are linked. You can't take the basement out of Toby. It's true. Basically like that with the Brony fandom and 4chan, you can't really separate these things. They're linked. They are put together. So, Toby doing voices and music, not shocking. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that this was decided a while ago. But this has especially been weird because I've been trying to read through Geo's deal with the Homestuck unofficial collection being taken down, or I guess it's pretty much taken down. There's not a good updated way to read the original Homestuck anymore. It's just kind of gone. Like, the official site doesn't work. And the unofficial site is gone, except for, I guess, a mirror that may or may not be updated. And there's just legal madness with that. Yeah, Toby did music for Scarlet and Violet. And for Sword and Shield, for that matter. He's done quite a bit of Pokemon. He's done music for multiple things. For many things. It's not just Undertale Deltarune. The guy gets work. He's busy. Toby is not literally Ed Sheeran, no. They're making a joke because Ed Sheeran was also in the Scarlet and Violet soundtrack. And it's a little weird. Yeah, I don't know how, like, what parts are you, again, that's what is worrying me, is like, what exactly are you adapting? Are you going to adapt the whole comic? Because I don't think you are. I'll be totally honest, I don't think you are. It's extremely long, and, kind of meanders all over the bit. It doesn't really lend itself well to animation production. I'll just say that right now, it doesn't. Toby Fox is our dad in Scarlet and Violet. Maybe. You'd have to cut out a lot. And probably change, like, they're going to change a lot, too. A lot of the humor in early Homestuck especially is very, early 2000s. A lot of, R slurs and stuff like that. Edgy, something awful humor that, not going to go over so well today. I did try and read it. I did try and read Homestuck once. I didn't finish it. I fell off about Act 6 because, like, I think it was after Cascade and we got to, like, the Alpha Kids and I'm like, I can't keep up with this. This is so much. That's where I fell off, was Act 6. And, like, oh, all the trolls are dying, but not, because nobody actually dies. Everybody's going to come back to life in some way. Yeah, the Area Zero's, like, the stuff you wrote for Homestuck's really good. It's so much. There's so much stuff that goes on. So, yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I'm working with Vivzy Pop. I hate Viv. I don't know much about Vivzy Pop. I hear some people just, like, really cannot stand her. Some people, maybe she's transphobic. I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I'd have to look into that more. Which would super suck. That's not what we need right now. But I haven't watched Hell of a Boss or Has Been Hotel. I guess I should at some point, just so I can judge for myself. I like Homestuck songs. Homestuck songs are good. Like, there's a reason why Toby got, like, popular off his Homestuck music. The Homestuck music is good. Like, I'm not surprised people want Penumbra Phantasm to show up in it. You can get pretty far with, like, really good music in a fandom. Homestuck music, really good. Brony music, really good. I will stand by these things. They can help run a fandom quite a bit. So I don't know much about Vivzy. Again, is she even involved? Is this just a production company from her? Because this is in Australia, I think. I don't know. They're probably not going to say that much. You usually don't say that much about who's actually doing what behind the scenes, except for this studio is doing it. And then you don't really attach much to it in the way of names. That's just how it is. Crediting is kind of bad in animation. Literally, that's happening with the show I'm working on now, or was working on. Where my credit is not the best, but it's there, but it's not super accurate. But oh well, people aren't going to pay attention. It's a very small kid show. Yeah, basically the problem is like the way I'm credited, with the show, it's 11-minute episodes. It's for little kids. Usually, you have a title card at the front that says, who this episode was directed by, and who it was boarded by. That often shows up at the title card at the front. But apparently, for this show, the way that it's being done is, okay, we're having the director, and then also the board director is the one credited at the front. and then I'm credited in the back along with any artist that's worked on both episodes involved, which is like not just me but the entire like revs team, because the revisionist artists are also involved and they can all be working on different pieces of the episode after I'm done with it. And we're all just kind of lumped together into the same storyboard credits, even though our roles are different. And the director is not the one that boarded the episode; they're the one that's directing it. It's weird and confusing. So I am credited, but not well. Basically, is the point. And that's not the first time that's happened. It just legal mumbo jumbo. It's not great. I'll just sustain myself on the due of the universe. Well, I mean, I'm being paid, so that's the part that's probably more important. Earthbound movie would be interesting. See, I think, like, Earthbound is something you could adapt well into another medium. I'm just not sure how you would do it with Homestuck. Again, like Undertale Deltarune, I'm like, what makes this a powerful work is the medium that it was designed for, and I do not know how they're going to do that in animation. A medium that is quite time consuming, and historically you really have to simplify down story and concepts in order to get through what you need to. It's not like a novel or something like that where you have time to meander. Not to mention the audience participation part of Homestuck, which is, I think, an important part of it. And I'm not sure how much of a managerial role Hussey has, because it seems like he's kind of bad at managing. They only adapt Mother 3. That's how it comes to America. I don't think that would ever happen, even if that would be neat. Again, my introduction to Mother 3 has pretty much just been Smash Brothers. That was where first introduced to the characters. Again, I am... So, a pilot is done. I am extremely curious how far along they are in production, if they are, because, working in this industry, it is a small miracle that anything gets made. Making TV and movies is really hard. It's really, really hard, and it takes a lot of time and effort, and especially something as long as Homestuck. I'm like, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna do it? We'll see. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you could portray that. Honestly, if I was going to adapt, I can't even talk about Deltarune right now because I don't think Deltarune is adaptable in quite that way. No, we're not even talking about AI. Screw AI. Like, if I was going to adapt Undertale to an animated series, I would not try and adapt the story of the game at all. Just no human involved, no underground, nothing of that. I would just stick with, like, basically a post-canon kind of thing where the monsters are on the surface and, they're having fun adventures and being quirky characters together. Basically, like the Winter Alarm Clock dialogue or interview, stuff like that. Like, stuff that's, doesn't really have overarching plot. We're just focused on the characters and their shenanigans. And because they're funny and fun characters and they can get up to fun, like, completely separate from Frisk. They can get up to their own funny shenanigans, and, like, I think that's enough to carry a series. But I would not try and adapt the game itself, because without the player, it's just not going to work. Like, that was people's big complaint with Paper Trail, is that there's the medium issue of, because this is not an active... The person's not an active participant, they're a passive participant. It's harder to get across the idea of, letting Chris go in that moment. And that's the problem of the medium. So, if you're going to ask me, how would you adapt Undertale? That's how. I would not adapt the game just put the characters into situations and let them have fun. I think that's how you should do it. But of course, then people would get mad about that. She has the cool S on her arm. Will the cool S save her? They want to adapt Eldritchrune. Cool. Put me in a storyboarding position and pay me well, and I'll do that. I could try being a producer. Producing's hard, though. Undyne grows the beard. She probably could if she tried hard enough. She's like, I'll do it. We're gonna get some moment in chapter 5 or something where, like, you know, maybe Caddy's like, oh, maybe I'll give Susie a chance, and then Susie's gonna see, you know, Jockington with a beard. She's gonna be like, oh, get that off your stupid face, because she's anti-prophecy now, and just totally goes after Jockington, and Caddy's like, and now you die. and, like, and then they are at each other's throats. Jockington, why did you have to grow that beard? Do some voice acting for that. Yeah, she's an anti-ending of the prophecy, but I think she might be suspect about the rest of it now too. I think if she's worried in the same situation as Rouse is, where it's like, you know, all this other stuff has happened so far. What if this happens too? Fred Jockington's like, I knew this. I knew this would happen the whole time. How funny is it? Like, for the longest time, I don't think his speech is degrading that much. He's always talked weird. He has always had weird speech things. Like, this happened the whole time. Like, it's a little bad, but also I don't get the idea that, oh, the speech degradation means somebody is turning into a goner, because the goners don't have broken speech. Their speech is fine. So why is the speech degradation a sign of being a goner? Like, I haven't seen an explanation for that yet. I still got so many questions about what was going on with Toriel in Chapter 3. Why did she have to stay asleep the whole time? Why did the Knight try and kidnap her? Run, Chris, run while you still have legs! Well, then what is the issue of what is he becoming? Toriel's just like Ven. True. Just eepy. But they seem really, really intent on making sure she does not wake up. That if she woke up, it would be very bad. I'm wondering why that is. Well, that's the problem, is, like, if the intent was to kidnap Toriel, where the hell was the Knight? Where were they? They just didn't show up until, like, the end, after we've done all this distraction stuff? Why do we have to keep them distracted? What was the Knight doing? Like, why couldn't they show up earlier? That's a question I think needs answering. Where are they? Toriel wakes up, she gets cranky. Hello, thank you for coming. Yeah, like, that is an open question. Where's the Knight? What are they doing? Oh, well, please play them. They're good. What was she doing? Also, why the tractor beam on Toriel? Yeah, that's nothing. Where was Undyne this whole time? She was over here in Eldritchrune running around, but, just gotta play them. Yeah, was she after Toriel's soul? Why is she... Why was the knight doing that? Why? Explain, America, explain! The lengthy tractor beam. Very weird. Wants piano tutorials. And she's like, I have spears now. I'm going to use them everywhere. Spear, 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 spear. Spear, 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 spear. Spear, spear, spear. Spear. And spear. Can't have Undyne without his spears. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what police sacrifice means. Explain, America. Again, it's like, where was the knight all this time? What the? Get out of here, friggin' Spotify. I don't even listen to you. You need time to adjust to teenager fantasy land. I don't know. Undyne picked it up kind of quick, I guess. As soon as she's like, "Wow, I can throw spears. I'm gonna do that." Mm-hmm. Yeah. Took her the whole... She was just standing there throwing spears the whole time before she got used to it. Then she was like, oh, by the way, I'm the police. Okay, but then the question is, why don't they want Toriel to find out? What about Toriel specifically are they like, you know, they, like, she cannot find out? That's true. And also, I'm kind of guessing that, you know, especially if Asgore is our boss next time, which, okay, then, I imagine he's going to figure this out pretty quick, what's going on. Why is it okay for Asgore to be awake and doing stuff and Toriel not? I'm wondering if there is some bit of knowledge or protectiveness that Toriel has. Going back to, like, the sword route. Why is the variable that changes the unused deer sprite into a black monster called Toriel? Why did you name your variable that? What does that mean? Yeah, Undyne just took forever to get there. He has no tie to the Darkworld stuff knowingly? I mean, maybe, but then what's with him talking about a black shard? He's got some stuff going on with his conspiracy board. I don't think he has full knowledge of what's going on. No, I don't think that's the case, but I think he knows something. Not as much as the kids and probably Carol, but I'm curious as to how much he knows. Yeah, maybe he got that from Carol. Used for a specific job with a specific time kind of thing. Yeah, does he not understand how it's a bit like, this is pretty, I don't know how it works though. I definitely think he would probably change some things around if he knew the full extent of what was going on. But I don't know, he's doing something fishy. He's doing some conspiracy stuff. That apparently Toriel's not fond of, and Chris isn't either, because they don't look like your stupid conspiracy boards. I don't like them. I'm just wondering if he is the next boss, like, under what circumstances is that going to happen? Because I'm like, not a good look, you attacking your own children here. Your own child. So, I don't know, maybe a flower or the flowers are the real boss the whole time. Just, and it's obfuscated a bit. I don't know. It could be many things. I kind of wonder when we're going to get another newsletter. I liked getting them seasonally. Eat the flower. Susie can do that. Alright, I gotta take a stretch break once I finish this bit with Undyne. And we'll move on. Oh, I'm sure he'll mention John Egbert next newsletter. That's it. That's the whole thing. We know, Toby. We know. We're on the internet. Of course we know. What else is happening? We're truck freaks, please. We already know about John Egbert. And then the knight nurks him right when he's gonna tell them the code. He can't keep his mouth shut. Alright, gotta stretch. I know. Oh, I still don't know what to do for an Undertale anniversary. I don't know what to do for that. I really wish I could think of something, but I've been so focused on Deltarune stuff that I don't know, I can't think of a cool 10th anniversary thing to do. I wish I could, because I probably would need to start it now. But brain, no work. Or brain is too Deltarune to work. No! Get swooned. I'm not gonna... I don't need a friggin' lying machine to tell me, you should try this. I have my brain for that. My brain's less likely to give me lies. I know, I prefer my own homegrown lying. Farm fresh lying. At least then it's interesting. Support your local older cousin's lying business. True. Again, it's gonna be more interesting. Yeah, I kind of wish I could also do a Kane challenge, but I don't think I have the time with all the stuff I gotta do. I really want to make more Eldritchrune progress during my break while I can. Again, as soon as I finish commissions, I'm going to get back to the garrison scene, and that's like 18 pages long. Renovating the room, that's the thing. I gotta do some real life stuff as well. I really need to organize some papers. I've been collecting in a pile. I gotta get another filing cabinet thing and do all that boring bureaucratic stuff and get it better organized. But I've done like Undertale anniversary art in the past where I'm like, oh, this is a cool idea and I want to do this kind of art. I just don't have any cool ideas for art this time, especially for something as big as the 10th. Like if I was like, what I wish is that I had an idea for an animatic. I think that'd be very cool, but I just don't have ideas. It's all going to Deltarunes. My brain got eaten. Well, yeah, I was talking about myself. Who knows? Maybe closer to the time I'll get a really good idea and I'll be like, oh, I gotta do this. Of course, it's gonna be like, 5 days before the anniversary, and I'll be in the middle of work, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta work on this anniversary art. Ah! Then I will explode. but can't super force it, unfortunately. At least not for this kind of stuff. Oh. Yeah, I do kind of hope we get another newsletter soon. I really like, I don't know, I like getting the little sprites and hints of what's coming up for the next chapter, since we know next chapter is going to be next year. We got time to build up to that. Oh no! I did get the anniversary thing in just in time. It was a little bit tough because it was on the day of my brother's wedding, and I was, at the wedding, or at the lodge for the wedding, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta do this before the wedding. I'm in the hotel room, I'll just do it on my iPad real quick. So I did it on the iPad and just submitted it. So hopefully it all gets in. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and stuff like that. Alrighty, I return. Also, I hope I didn't confuse people. I was not on the iPad doing this during the wedding. I was not doing that. That would be extremely rude. This was in the morning before the wedding started. I was like in the hotel room trying to get the thing done. Like, I ain't gonna do that during the ceremony. It's extremely rude. I'm in the front row with the family. Like, people would notice. So, no, I did the anniversary thing. Yeah, sorry, that's less dramatic. I'm not going to be extremely rude on my iPad during my brother's wedding, which was actually very lovely. Like, I ain't that kind of asshole. I didn't even have my phone on me. I'm like, okay, this dress has no pockets, no phone. We're going and we're, paying attention. Plus, I was like part of the ceremony. I had to go up and deliver something. So, no. I did it on the iPad in the hotel in the morning before things actually started. Please don't put in the papers that I was an asshole, because I'm not. and most of them would have been like, what's an Undertale? They do not care. Most people there got normie interests. Most people there not super nerdy. And we did like a little Survivor game the previous day. And I was the odd one out because I have not watched Survivor. make them play it. I've tried. They're just not interested. My family isn't interested. I tried, like, when I was recovering from surgery and my mom was staying with me, and I was like, Mom, I'll play Undertale for you. You can finally see what I've been talking about all this time. And she's like, okay, honey. You know, supporting me, and she fell asleep most of the time. I'm trying to play through the game here for her, and she was just, you know, conked out. She liked the music, though. She's like, oh, this is really nice music. It helps me fall asleep. Can you give it to me? I've tried. They just don't care. There's only so much you can do. I know. I know. I mean, some parents do share certain interests. I mean, they like movies a lot. Yeah, at least she liked the music a lot. Like that's my litmus test for it. Is Undertale's music actually good, or is it just I like it because you know it's associated with the story I like. Like, okay, that passes my litmus test. If my boomer mom, who does not care about video games and is falling asleep during the game itself, is like, I like this music, it's good, then the music is, yes, good on its own merits. I think that I can safely say that. It's not just the association and nostalgia, it's actually good music. Yeah, my parents are, my parents had me pretty young, so they're not, that much older than me. But they're still, it's because I'm old. I'm old! They still just never got into video games. Yeah, it's limited. Like, again, they like movies. They enjoyed, like, you know, Lord of the Rings and, Game of Thrones and stuff like that. And again, they like watching Survivor. They like some Pixar movies and stuff like that, so they'll support in that way. And but they've just never gotten into video games or computer games in general. It's mostly literature. If we're gonna talk about stuff, I usually like try and bring up a book I've been listening to and be like, oh, you might like this book, kind of thing, or this book was interesting to me, and that will probably get their attention more. Mainly Sans. Yeah, everyone knows honestly, I'd probably say Megalovania is like one of the most important boss battle themes of, like, the last decade. Everyone knows Megalovania. I would argue that Chapter 4 is themed around music the most. Like, there is books, yes, but there is so much that's associated with music. We have, you know, Sound of Justice. There's the piano puzzles. There's, like, you know, all the stuff about, you know, Chris playing the piano and Susie talking about playing the piano and stuff. There is a sense of both literature and music, but I would say it's more geared around music. A lot of the enemies are, you know, we have one enemy that's book-based, and then way more enemies are, like, sound-based. A lot of sound stuff going on. Which makes sense. It is a church, and we had choir there and all that stuff, so. You were correct. It was based around a lot of music. I'm not sure how we'll do Flower King in Chapter 5. I guess this one's kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing going on, you know? World of magical flowers and plants. A little bit trippy. That's my take on it anyway. We could also have like a superhero theme going on, because we know that also Asgore is associated with superheroes. What with the superhero comics? Flower themed superhero. Yeah, that's I'm in the same boat. I'm kind of like I'm not super cool on Asgore being a boss. I'd rather us go and doing different things, but like that's where all the evidence is pointing right now. So that's like I would be shocked if that's not what we get. So I'm pretty sure we're getting Flower King Dark World in some capacity next chapter, and we'll find out what that means. At the very least, all I want with that is like, please let me like Asgore's character more, please, because right now I'm like, I'm sorry, Asgore, you kind of suck. I want to like him more. Please endear him to me. Please do that. They're evil about it. We cannot stand the load-bearing divorce. Yeah, chapter 4, I'm like, Sir, please get your act together. You are not behaving well. We're not even talking about the conspiracy stuff. You're just not behaving well. You need to get your life together. Come on. So, that is my wish. Please make me like Asgore more. And if you're gonna not do that, at least make him like in an interesting way. Most pitiable scrimblows. Oh yeah, I like that too. I appreciate the fact that, like, you know, you usually in, you know, these kinds of stories, it's like, oh, how does the patriarch feel about this? His feelings are the most important. And I'm glad that, like, you know, that's kind of being played a little bit differently in terms of, like, actually, why are we concerned so much with what he feels? Like, how are the women and the kids feeling about this kind of thing? That's more important. I would still like him to not be completely pathetic. I would like for him to, again, improve as a person and become more likable. Otherwise, Noelle's gonna kick him like this. Big kick. Yeah, she's flying because she just got curb stomped by Noelle. A flying fish. It could be worse, Undyne. Could be on the other end of that. With the teeth. Then again, getting kicked by a giant, you know, deer is, that's probably going to be one of the worst things that can happen to a person. Getting kicked by a regular deer can kill you, so... the fact that she survives is miraculous. She's tough. Yeah. Whatever happens with Asgore, at least let it be good and interesting. You're a cop and you sacrifice kids. Pew! And a bit of cartoon logic. Yep. One thing I did see brought up that I think would be interesting is that we have been getting, you know, basically some boss battles that, you know, could have possibly happened in Undertale but didn't. In the sense of, like, okay, you know, we didn't really get a proper Mettaton Neo battle, and that disappointed people. But then we got that with Spamton Neo, where we get, you know, basically use the Yellow Soul for that and get a proper cool fight with the Neo body. So we got that. And then another thing is, you know, we hear all this cool stuff about Garrison, but we never get to fight him. You know, he's just in the shopkeep in Undertale. And then in Eldritchrune, wow, we get a really awesome boss battle with Garrison. And yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, okay, are we gonna maybe get an Alfie's boss battle. And that's another one that's like, you know, maybe we've hinted at, but we never got. And what if we get a cool boss battle with her? That could be really neat. I would be down with that. Yeah, if it was my lizard, then, Toby, what are you doing in my house? Get out! But, I think that would be interesting. Because right now, Alfie's is still kind of getting, kind of shunted a bit in Deltarune. And it would be cool to see her get a cool moment where she gets to finally have a boss battle and she gets a little bit intimidating. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just something neat. Some cool boss battle gimmick. Alfie's character arc, please. She's definitely getting into things a little bit more since, you know, Undyne is now missing, and she's like, this actually worries me. Let's do something about that, maybe? Yeah, it could be a thing that's not literally her, but something related to her. But I think it'd be cool if it was something to do with her. Again, kind of the reason why I'm like, oh, we're gonna have Asgore as a boss, okay, because we've already had Asgore as a boss. He has a cool boss theme and cool boss fight in Undertale. I'm like, do we have to do that again? I thought we do different things. I like the fact that we are doing different things. I like the fact that we got cool new bosses doing cool new things. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure what she can do either, but people have already made up like a bunch of, you know, fan boss fights for her. You could pull something interesting from those and extrapolate it into something relevant to whatever's happening in the story. She makes you watch every episode of The Simpsons. True, it could be like Simpsons based. I mean, he's going to be important. He was in the prophecy. We can see his like big silhouette there with a flower in the prophecy. So he's going to do something. Choir singing the symptoms. Dun 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 dun. Like imagine the Simpsons opening theme is like a boss battle theme. I kind of want to see that now. It'd be simultaneously like funny and also terrifying. Please, you know, fan game creators, can you do that for me? Please, that'd be so cool. I can't do it myself. I can't code. Oh no, and people are gonna be like, haha, referencing running over deaths meme. I mean, go away, please. Yeah, I imagine there'd be some kind of cool puzzle element to it, rather than like a, you know, a straight up brawl. That's not how she operates. But you could do something cool, just with like, you know, whatever the battle gimmick is, or how the bullet patterns go, or something. Something neat. We know we got lots of cool gimmick battles just in, you know, Sound of Justice and Jackenstein and stuff like that. El Nino, La Nina. Bad song to be playing now when Undyne's getting her ass kicked. It's like, Chris, you should have listened to me about the symptoms. If you had, you would know how to beat my boss battle. I keep reading. No, 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 no. Although if the next Dark World is supposed to be in Flower King, which is very likely because of what Garrison and them have said, I'm kind of guessing that Chapter 6 will just be one in the festival. Maybe. How is the show still going? In this season, they all went to the moon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, at least she doesn't die. She just gets horribly kicked in the chest by a giant deer. And that's gonna hurt. And yeah, sorry, Undyne. You do deserve this. You participated in the child sacrifice. Whereas in Deltarune, Deltarune, she's the sacrifice, and Eldritchrune, police sacrifice you. Police sacrifice 100. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure people will make a lot of cool fan games. Once the full game is out, I do want to do a really big, post-canon project. I'm saving money for it. I think I have an idea of how I might want to do it too, but it would depend a lot on how the game ends. But depending on how it ends, I think I could work kind of what I'm thinking. Hello, thank you for coming. Yeah, I'm glad that there's like a engine now. Basically, you can make fan games in the engine. That's kind of what I would have to do. Although I wouldn't be doing a fan game. I would do a animatic series. I'm like, okay, I think I know what I could potentially do for that. Something interesting. But again, I want to see how the whole thing ends first. That would determine like what happens. But either way, I want to do that. I want to do a giant project once the game's over. And we'll see how it ends. Yes, I hope you've been doing well. I hope you're doing better than Undyne right now, who is not having a good day, having been kicked in the chest by a giant deer. Noel's just like, bye. Good luck getting up from that. Get it? Oh dear. Yeah, I hope we're all doing better than that. If you are not doing better than getting kicked in the chest by a giant deer, hospital, please. Please, hospital. Hospital. Alfie will help her recover. At least you're gonna need it. And then, like, I'm gonna stab this giant monster deer in the flank. Next post. Hospital. I don't know why that particular brand of humor is always funny to me. Yeah, they do have a hospital in this town because... Okay, is it not weird that Hometown is like, we have our own police station and hospital, but not a bank. Can't have that. Build a bank so somebody can rob it. All my hours in Shadow of the Colossus have trained me for this moment. She's like, get dunked on. Ow! Did not get dunked on. Fire giant, I'll be back soon. 2 minutes later, hospital. Just the fact that it's pronounced hospital too is like extra funny. I can't explain it. Yeah, I don't know. We only see the nurse. I imagine there is a doctor, but who is this doctor? I know, we can't even go to the bank and commit a crime. And how are we supposed to do crimes? You don't even show up for the crimes we do. Dr. Wing Ding Gaster is the doctor. It was right in front of us all along. Oh, I see you brought in Birdley. Oh, he seems cold. Don't worry. We'll hook him up to a space heater. That's how you fix hypothermia, right? You just hook them up to a space heater. And hot water bottle. That should do the trick. I definitely have my medical license. Imagine if the receptionist nurse is the doctor. You just like come in to the doctor. Doctor, I'm dealing with this, and the nurse is just like a giant maw plant teeth thing. Great bedside manner, though. Yes, I have seen the Birdley, my parents are fighting. Oh, who do they mean? That's really good. The funny thing is, that might work. That might get Chris out of their funk. That Campbell's Soup Snowman commercial. Like, why does this bother me so much? So here's the question. Who would ask Oratorial Maine? I don't know. Like, where are Birdley's parents? Chris was the one to bring Birdley to the hospital. What is his family doing? I mean, he's also getting neglected. Like, my dude, your child is in a ice coma. Supernatural ice coma. Where are you? I don't know any other characters. They're just both maining Yoshi. Is that her? Maybe. I don't know. I think that just might be fan, and we don't really know. Because has she even shown up at all in Deltarune? I don't think we've seen her. Watch, Birdley's dad is the big bird guy who turns into a goner. Wait, don't. My son? I can't think about that right now. Books, library. Yeah, his parents seem to have weird expectations of him. Yeah, at the very least they do have the same beak and wing style. Toriel, Paluneta, Asgore, Olimar. I can see that. This question is, which version of Smash is this? Is they playing Melee? Are they playing Brawl? Are they playing Ultimate? Which one? And if this is a universe where you have different characters, like, is ICE a playable character? Can you play from cat petters? Are these things possible in this universe? Yeah, he'd do Donkey Kong because he's like, oh look, he's got a cute tie. This monkey has a cute tie. That's so funny. I'm gonna play the monkey with the tie. Like, yeah, yes, we know Donkey Kong has a tie. He's like, but it's a monkey and he's wearing a tie. I think that's bananas. And everybody just groans. ICE has a Shareware Doom clone. He's coming out of the pipes. I can't stop him from coming out of the pipes. Why are you in the pipes, ICE? What are you doing in the pipes? I can't stop it. Why are you associated? Like, I want to see like ICE and Friend be collabing together to be creepy, weird animals. Are the non-human characters in Smashing Fight? I don't know. I guess that raises more questions about are you considered like what's Kirby? Is Kirby a monster or is Kirby like a guy or a human? What is everything? What's going on? Yeah, there could be an ape monster. Like, we know that there are animals in this universe. They talk about animals as separate from monsters, but how do you differentiate between a character that's a monster and a character that is an animal? Yeah, again, Undying Hospital. There's cat monsters, and there's also cats. There's bird monsters. And also there's birds. There are mouse monsters, and there's mice. What does it mean? Doggo gets a seeing eye dog in Undertale. What do you mean? That's part of the problem. Toby's like, world building, I don't care. You guys figure it out. I got other stuff to work on. Timeline, nah. I ain't got time for no timeline. I gotta write sick-ass beats. Yeah, I'm not sure to what extent it does apply, but it has to because we have instances of other regular animals being mentioned. Basically, Noelle's like, oh, I have a spare hamster cage, which means that they have regular hamsters. Nugget, no. Alfie thinks she's feeding a cat, even if that is not the same thing as like Kattenheimer. She thinks it's just a pet cat. They eat regular human food, which includes both, like burgers, which are made from cows. I made the games and the music. You guys figure out what you do for your creative endeavors. And you can only do so much, usually. I mean, that just means that you care about it a lot. And you enjoy thinking about it. And if you enjoy thinking about something, you're inevitably going to find stuff that, doesn't add up. Because just as a creator, like, you can't do everything. Alright, it's stretch time, so I'm getting up to stretch. You can't do everything perfectly. There's stuff you're going to focus on and stuff that you're just not going to think about that much. And with Toby, he focuses on the characters and their interactions and, themes around the characters and all that kind of stuff. That's his focus, which I think is the correct thing to focus on if you're going to focus on something. Like, that is what he is interested in and cares about, and that's what we get a lot of. So we just do not get much world building, and we really don't get, like, a time scale for things as a result. Like, there's some world building, it's not, it's not there. It's just not very, like, detailed or extensive. The focus is not on the world building or timelines. And for people that like to pick stuff apart, that makes it difficult, because it's like, well, it could mean this or it could mean that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, it could. Because we don't know for sure. And probably if you asked Toby if it's this or that, he'd probably be like, well, that's not that important. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's fun all the same. It is frustrating from like a fan perspective, where you are thinking about it a lot. Perhaps more than the creator was thinking about it. And, you're thinking about it, points out all these holes in it. And you can either be like, well, yeah, the holes are here, or you can, be like, okay, there's holes in this, or you can try and fill it with, fan fiction stuff. Toby, who never thought of that. Like, to be clear, there is a ton of stuff he's thinking about. Again, I think that his focus is on the characters, on their interactions, on, future things with them. It's very character based and all that stuff. And very, very tied with themes. Characters and themes, those are the big things that Toby is focused on. Which is good. I think those are the correct things to focus on, because those are the things that, really make a story stand out. But there's just less focus on what the overall world is like and what time things are happening at. And that is okay. I know there's tons of stuff that I've worked on that it's like, okay, I've done the story, and people are like, what about this? And I'm like, I haven't thought of that. If you try too hard to think of like everything that you possibly can with a story, you're gonna lose focus. It's gonna get muddy, and stuff's just not gonna happen the way it needs to. Like sometimes the answer to like why did this happen in the story? It's like, because this had to happen, because this is a story and it had to happen for the story to happen. Sometimes that is the answer. Not always, but sometimes. Like, this kind of thing wouldn't happen in real life. It's like, yeah, because this is not real life. This is a constructed narrative. Real life is not a constructed narrative. As helpful as I think it would be if it was, it's not. Well, making them suffer is the fun part. Especially when they come out the other side and they're like, we got through the suffering and it's okay. And you can do it too. Ugh. Alright. Except poor Burger Pants. I'm 19 years old and I've already wasted my entire life. Exactly. Alright, sometimes you flush 6 bottles of Coke down the toilet and nothing happens. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. shall continue on. Yes. Real life is not a narrative, it's the entire point of Deltarune. In fact, it seems like the part of the point is that while narratives do help us in a lot of ways and should be a part of our lives, if our life was a narrative, that would be bad. Being a a hero character in Deltarune, not a good thing. It makes things incredibly hard and upsetting. Avocado. Is that like a shark avocado? I'll take a free shark. Meanwhile, Alfie's is like, oh god, he just got kicked in the chest by a giant deer. She is unfortunately not a doctor, though. Is there a doctor in the no, they got eaten, probably. Hello, thank you for coming. We are still making our way through doing fills for this. I gotta also eventually get to doing the shading for the background. So many of these guys. Actually, is this no, we can do it on that. We can do it on that. And yeah, good grief, I just realized that is correct. Nobody has a canon age except for Burger Pants. And I don't know, he might be a little bit older in Deltarune? Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe he is college aged, like Asriel just did not go to college because he's stuck working his terrible jobs. Which, I'm sure people can relate to that. He's gonna be stuck with some kind of crappy job at the festival. He's gonna be like a dunk tank, and the dunk tank is gonna like dunk him into like pizza sauce. Like that's what ICE's gonna pizza's gonna put on. They're like, come see the ICE dunk tank, and it's either gonna be like ice water, or pizza sauce, or pizza ice water, or something like that. And it's gonna be like they're gonna have a little mini game where you can dunk pizza pants into that, and it'll be really funny and also sad. Oh yes, please give me an idea for Eldritchrune Burger Pants names that's not shit pants, because otherwise I don't know what it is. There's Dub Trauma's Manure Pants. Still bad, but not as bad as the other one. That's true. And that is probably more accurate, because it's you know, horse poop, which is called manure. He is not happy to see you. Unless your pizzerina is long-distance pizza girlfriend. Burger Pond. But that's the thing, in Eldritchrune, he doesn't do burgers or pizza. He cleans, he's a stable hand, he cleans up horse poop. So that there is no border, there is just horse. Clean out the Plinko machine. The medieval Plinko machine, horse Plinko machine, which we have for some reason. It sounds vaguely German because burgers are German. Hamburger. Americans love to be like burger is American, and it is, but also it's German too. The Germans had burger first. I apologize. They did. Whatever floats your goat. I want to see what Asriel's gonna look like in Eldritchrune. We gotta finally see the guy. Maybe then we'll finally be done with piles of Asriel's dust jokes. Cause look, here he is. I mean, we probably won't be done with that joke even when we do see him. But it would be nice. Just show us the college goat. Show him to us. What do he look like? Yeah, it's been happening forever. Borger. America is when Borger. Still, show us the goat. Show us the college goat. Show him to us. Alright. See you in a little bit. Show us the goat. No, they already did that. That's Garrison. We have already been introduced to Peak. It's old man. He may be a turtle, but he's still the goat. You may not like it, ladies, but this is what peak performance looks like. Turtle so old he's dead will kick your ass. And you'll love it. Because the theme song will kick ass too. This is just Togor-tastic. I am vaguely aware of that meme, but not very much. Except for that sure is another goat guy. Show us the greatest older brother of all time. Exactly. There we go. That's another goat. I don't know, at least I prefer Togor over running over Death's meme. At least it seems like Togor is just like, what if there was a weird little guy? I'm always down for a weird little guy. I accept your weird little guys. Yes, it's activating the orange in you. No, why didn't I get this one? Hello? Hello? I just realized that Asgor's not much of a tea drinker in Eldritchrune, is he? I'm kind of more into pickles. Alright, we're done with part 3. We're moving on to some stuff in part 4. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? I remember hearing that joke when I was like 8 years old. That joke is probably a century old. The world's old... What's the world's oldest joke? I wonder what that is. Orange you lie, didn't say banana. It's probably up there, though. The joke is as old as oranges in the English language. True. Well, I guess it'd also have to be old as bananas. Like, when did English speakers start eating bananas? When did colonization find the banana? And be like, I'll take that. Yoink! Chris, get the banana. Potassium. Oh, right. It's like a dog walks into a bar or something, like, kind of joke. It's like it makes sense if you know ancient Sumerian. Oh yeah, did you hear about the gorilla that escaped from the zoo? No? That's because I'm a very quiet gorilla. Angry gorilla noises. Yeah, I seem to recall the Sumerian one was like, dog walks into bar, that's rough, buddy, or something like that. That's rough, buddy. Or these like, where are my snacks? I demand more human Cheez-Its. Alright, lurking for lunch is fine. Dog walked into a bar and it couldn't see. What did it do? It opened its eyes. Does bar mean something like blindness in Sumerian? That's rough, buddy. Muffled sounds of guerrilla violence. Well, that one's been around for a while too. Now I'm wondering if that dog got Zuko in him. Indeed. And Scooby-Doo. Unfortunately, my Eldritchrune Carol design is now a bit off. She would probably have shorter hair if I was designing her now. But too late. We'll just have to deal with it. I did get kind of the blonde hair thing correct, though. I should have put her in blue instead of green, though. Ah, well. What can you do? Not much. At least I got pretty okay with her attitude, though. Here comes the big deer. Me watching Swiss Family Robinson when I was like 2 years old, and I hear the music come on. Here comes the tiger. Here comes the giant deer. Yeah, we are now in part 4 of 20. Woo-hoo. Here comes that boy. Oh shit, what up? Even though this is actually a girl. Here comes that girl. Living in a reindeer world. Yeah, I'm gonna draw around all the background stuff here, though. Oh. Oh Lord, she coming. That's the name we need. I actually don't know what the originator of that one is. Like, what is the oh Lord he coming one? It's something with a cat, right? Is that an old one? Is that all the way back from my canned hash cheeseburger days? I remember those days. We thought that was so, like, you know what I thought was really funny? Oh really, Al? I thought oh really, Al was so funny. Look at that Al's face. That's so funny. And that stuff would last for like years. Now memes like 15 minutes is too old for this meme. Oh, there are little people down here. Don't forget about us! Help! Epic rap battles of memestery. Okay. Hand on shoulder. I do feel like some memes have had more staying power than others. Like, the guy turning around to look at the hot lady behind him. People still use that one. Rapping Napoleon. Wait, am I missing something? Oh wait, no, that's where the text is. I'm like, why do they vanish down here? Okay, it's the text bubbles there. But I can't show you that because that's got story in it. Well, you can probably guess what's being said. He's like, please do not face the giant reindeer monster. That's not going to end well. Really, honestly, I think in canon, Carol looks like older than this. She's got a really pinched face. She's got Grinch face, resting Grinch face. And that coupled with like her sound font. This is a lady that is wound extremely tight. Still need to work around all this stuff. I don't know who that is. I don't read a lot of manhwa. Nope. Ugh. That shouldn't be there either. It's behind the post. Be gone. Be gone. One of those times probably I should have put like put the gate on a separate layer in the front. Instead of having everything on the background layer, but that's just how it goes. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I think that's all. All the same group of stuff. Really like, wow, our child sacrifices probably don't have anything to do with this, right? possibly be that. Ooh. Okay, yeah. 21. Almost like target acquired. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Shoot. At some point I basically I have character and background clean lines up through, I think it's part 7, and I really need to start working on some background roughs for like parts 8, 9, and 10, as those all take place in the same area. See if I can't squeeze that in at some point. I feel like we're working on stuff from early parts for a while. Well, that's just how it is. It feels like there's still so much left to do with the ending. It's just looming so big over this project. Go away, Intel driver and support. I don't care. I'm busy. Once again, Noelle, your antlers are being big and annoying. And yet we keep drawing them. As we gotta. Now that I think about it, I really do think it'd be funny if we had Burger Pants dunk tank at the festival. I'm kind of hoping that happens. Oh, he smells like wet cat monster, or whatever he is. Probably a cat monster. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. It is art time. We are doing fills on part 4 for Eldritchrune ending. Still gotta go back and do the background stuff, but fills are something nice and not nice and brainless I can just do in chat. Art. Although I really am concerned that I'm gonna have to do a bunch of stuff with like the latter half of Eldritchrune's ending like not on stream because of too many spoilers. I don't want to do spoilers for you on stream. I mean, there's some spoilers here, but there's something like, okay, I'd like to keep at least like some of the stuff with Ralsei and Chris unspoiled. Keep at least one thing a surprise. We'll have to see. It is art time. So I really need to do something else also with the knight and Eldritchrune, make them a little bit more intimidating, even though it's not going to come anywhere close to them in canon, where they're significantly a cooler character. Eldritchrune Knight and Canon Knight switched places. Somehow, some way. Oh, great, time just flying. Time is just flying by. Look at the clock and I'm like, yeah, it's almost already my break time again. Mayor, where are you going? Come back. I just want to talk. I just want to have a little chit chat with you. Oh, your gate's not open to everybody. Again, oh Lord, she coming. Oh Lord, her antlers are a pain in the butt. In more ways than one. Somebody playing heavy music outside? I hear that little thumpy of somebody with two big speakers in their car. I think it passed by. Okay. She's large. Getting everything here. A little birdly in the corner there. Okay. Do this. I'm going to take another stretch break. And then we'll be on to more. I'm so glad I fixed the problem with my brushes. Otherwise I would be in dire straits right now. It would not be good. Alright, it is now stretch break time. We've gotten through 4 pages so far. Pretty good. Might need to do even more. let's keep going. Ugh. Definitely have to turn on the AC later because it's gonna get hot today again. It cooled down a little bit for some rain, but now it's like what? Roller coastering back up to hotness. I really gotta adjust the sensitivity on my PNG tuber. I think it keeps picking up the music even though the music is really quiet. At least I think it's really quiet. Or sometimes, or maybe it's just also picking up the fan. That's also possible. It is but a simple PNG tuber, and my sound is not super fancy. That's just how it be. Your log still? Yes. Yes, she is. Has not left it yet. Alright, I will be right back with one more stretch and all that stuff. We are back. I think I can do 2 more sessions before I stop for lunch. So let's see. I might actually get through 2 more pages and I might need to open some other pages. Smooth McGroove. I hope that he does some more chapter 3 and 4 songs. I really want to see Hammer of Justice. Third Sanctuary, go totally wild with it. I don't understand the time signature stuff at all. I just know people like who do understand that with music are like, what the heck's going on with Third Sanctuary? I'm like, it sounds cool. I don't know the mechanics of it, but it sounds very cool. I like it. Need more remixes of it. Mostly I've seen a lot of people doing Raise Up Your Bat and Black Knife, which are good. Do not get me wrong, I love those. But I do really like the Chapter 4 music quite a bit. Might be my favorite of the game so far. I wonder if we also get any more battle themes, or if from now on is supposed to be just like our set battle theme for the next chapters. I guess we'll find out. I wouldn't say no to more battle themes. Yeah, why is it purple? Cannonball's like, I can't get in, I don't have a gate key, and Eldritchrune's Noelle's like, have you tried stepping on the gate? Have you tried just ignoring the gate completely? Oh, remix for Sword. That's another thing we need more remixes for. I want more remixes for, like, Sword and some of the other Chapter 3 music we don't hear a lot of. Well, even that's fun. Yeah. It's good stuff. I definitely think he, like, did a really good job of capturing that sense of, like, oh, Zelda music. Also having that just kind of slightly creepy thing where it goes into like the, you know, the weird creepy noises along with the, oh, this is awesome Zelda music. Ooh, this is, something's off about this. I haven't seen that many Burning Eyes remixes either. I'm like, that's a cool boss theme. Where's all the Burning Eyes remixes? And I guess it kind of gets carried over into Black Knife a little bit, but I don't know. It's still, there's still different stuff going on there. People too busy going, there's Gaster's theme in this. It's everywhere, it's everywhere, it's everywhere. I hope Andrew Cunningham brings back the brain rot meter for Chapter 3 and 4 music and be like, does this have Gaster's theme? Yes, no? All that, yes. He's like, if we hide in the kitchen, the giant deer definitely will not find us. Into my vocabulary. Is that with with the most recent. I haven't been keeping. I need to watch some of the recent game. I think it was like Horror Observer or whatever. I haven't been able to catch those streams. I would need to catch up. Oh, it's the Gaster Leitmotif video. Okay, I need to rewatch that then. The brain rot meter is just very funny. I like the brain rot meter. It does feel like there's a lot less Gaster motifs in these new chapters, which is weird. We got him talking to us directly, either during the night fight and at the end of chapter 4. So he is observing, participating in this. But it does seem mostly to be in go player, players neat, cheering you on kind of thing, rather than a really active participant in the story. Maybe we don't know the extent of that yet, and we'll find out. I hope so. But like, I don't know, I was pretty convinced that Gaster was the one doing the secret Valentine. I'm like, this has Gaster written all over it, and then it's like, well, maybe it's the Forgotten Man. I'm like, okay, then who's this guy? Who is Forgotten Man? What's his deal? Why are you connected to trauma and talking so weirdly to Chris? Strange man. I guess my main thing is that in the news, in the Valentine, the person says, "Are you enjoying Deltarune?" Which I'm like, okay. Gaster is the one who knows what Deltarune is, so he would say that. Which then leads me to ask, okay, what does the Forgotten Man know about Deltarune? Does he know we're playing a game? Like, what is his meta-knowledge? Why does he ask if we are enjoying Deltarune? What's your deal, sir? Two Gaster stays winning. Could be. It could be. If Gaster's so great, why isn't there another Gaster? Whoa! I know, but how does he know that it's a game? Like, we have the idea that Gaster does, because he kind of introduced it to us in the first place. He does the social media takeovers and all that. But how does this guy know there's a game? What does he know about it? Gaster 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm just picturing, like, whatever that one meme is with Todd Howard being like, something 2, and then 2 appears on the giant screen behind him. Everybody's like, whoa! And it says, Gaster 2! The crowd goes wild. You'll still never see what he looks like, but there's 2 of them. Axel's over here like, 2? Or it's like the Stanley Parable. We're doing the Stanley Parable 2! And it's just like 2s everywhere. Except it's for Gaster. We saw you like Gaster so much we did another Gaster. Mitosis! There we go. He's butted off into another Gaster. Going to keep multiplying until we're just covered with them. You wanted Gaster? Well, guess what? Gaster is gray goo. You are now doomed to all become Gaster. do you like this much, Gaster? It's like every man, also Gaster. Friend, that's also Gaster. ERAM, guess what? Gaster again. Me with the astronaut looking over Earth. Wait, it's all Gaster? Always has been. Which I wonder what the impetus for that original meme was. I know the original was, wait, it's all Ohio, always has been, but why Ohio? Aside from it being the thing that astronauts want to escape from the most. Can't escape Ohio. Whatever the Gen Alpha kids are making fun of. That is true. That is true. It is inherently... But isn't there like a thing of like most American astronauts, like the majority of them come from Iowa? They're like born in Iowa, and it's like Iowa is just the kind of state where like you live there and you immediately want to escape the Earth. Oh, I don't know anything about Scott the Woz, so okay. I am unfamiliar with Scott the Woz stuff, so cannot comment on that. I think he does game reviews, I think, or is it movie reviews? I don't remember. I do not recall. Does not come up in my YouTubes. Games. Okay, it makes sense. I gotchas. I don't really watch much game reviews. I like watching my 5-hour-long video essays. I've been going through this one YouTuber, forget the name. They do like these giant Final Fantasy retrospectives, and I'm like, this is fun, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you for talking about Final Fantasy for like 30 hours so I can draw. I'm excited to get to the ones that I've actually played. I have not played that many Final Fantasies, shockingly. A good amount, but not a lot. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, like half the Canadian animation industry runs on video essays. It's just nice to listen to. Plus, I probably picked up this habit from my parents. They put on movies that they've seen like a million times while they work, and I'm like, I do the same thing. It's just, you know, with YouTube videos. Movies require a bit more attention. They should make a video essay about the Canadian animation industry. I bet you it would be interesting, and people might learn things about it. You just might learn something. Talk about our unionization efforts. Talk about the fact that we do much of the production, but because we're considered an outsourced country, it's not really counted in terms of credits. Heck yeah, unionizing. Woo! We're getting bigger. Jeff Bezos immediately sends a drone to your house for daring to mention unions in a positive light. Like, we laugh. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd love to do that in the future. Don't talk about unions. Why not? Is it because they're cool? And the games industry should get one ASAP so people stop treating game developers so poorly? Which then in turn has a knock-down effect, making the rest of the industry worse because the actual artists involved in the creation of the art are treated poorly and burnt out, so they cannot pass on their knowledge to a younger generation, meaning that new generations coming in have to start from scratch. Costing valuable time and money? That is true. That is a problem with every industry, but some industries do have stronger unions than others. A lot of manufacturing, they worked... Oh, I just realized I colored in the wrong part there. Good grief. A lot of manufacturing still has decent unions, hopefully. Teachers have a pretty good union. It's very important. Yep. This is one of those necessary things. Because if you don't have that kind of protection, boss gonna darn take advantage of you. As they can. If they can, they will. That's just the reality of it. Okay. So I am pro-unionizing. And man, you gotta work really hard to do it too. Like, it's not kind of thing I'm like, oh, we're just gonna do a union and throw it together. You gotta work here. Like, knowing people who have worked in, trying to get animation union stuff together, you gotta work your ass off in order to get those rolling. It is not easy. It's worthwhile, but people ain't doing it for a laugh. They're doing it because it's necessary. And that's just how it be. Hello, thank you for coming. Good luck with organizings. It does often. It would be nice if it didn't, but that's just not the world we live in. At the very least, if you're an Eldritchrune, hopefully it does not require child sacrifice. Don't crash. Then again, I can't stand taking naps. Proceed. Ways to traumatize a Deltarune fan with a single word. Just say proceed. People will be like, what? They should change proceed to go ahead on. It's your move. Go ahead on. Ugh, I cannot stand naps. I feel worse when I take them. Go on, get. Like the last time I took a nap was when I was traveling to get to my brother's wedding. I was there a few days early, and I left late Wednesday night, knowing I would arrive in the morning Thursday, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on the plane, and there will be some time changes involved here. I will sleep on the plane, so I can get a bunch of rest for that, and then I'll be okay to drive in the morning. I did not sleep on the plane. I tried and tried and tried and tried. I was laying there with my little neck pillow in the dark. Nobody was doing anything. It was quiet. I was trying my best to sleep. It did not work. And it was like a 4.5-hour flight too, in the middle of the night. So by the time I finally got to my destination, I was like, and I gotta drive another 2 hours. So I drove another 2 hours, and I got there on time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. So I took a pretty lengthy nap, and then also slept as much as I could that night. It's that time change stuff. Human body was not meant to race the sun this fast. So we're like, whoa. Even in, like, that feels like that's a uniquely plane specific problem. Because even on like a boat, it's going to take you so long usually that, you know, you're kind of following along with the sun for the most part. But with a plane, you can go fast enough that you are chasing the sun around the globe. And then your body's like, excuse me, what's going on? I wonder when they first figure that out, when they're like, wait a second, because of the time difference, things are getting weird. Because of the power of being on a round globe and stuff. I wonder if certain animals are more sensitive to jet lag even. Like, we adapt to stuff pretty quick, but if there's certain animals that have, like, really, really tight rhythms, circadian rhythms or whatever it is, I wonder if putting them on a plane and carting them around gives them, like, really severe jet lag. Or do they adjust easier? I don't know. Well, it's like, knock, knock, I can't fit through the door, so I'm gonna make my own entrance. By make my own entrance, I mean knock down half your house. Hope you weren't using that roof. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. I get to draw a whole bunch of debris. Hooray! We love drawing debris. That's gonna be half of my drawing for Eldritchrune's ending is just debris. Everywhere there is debris. Is debris a French word? Is that why the S is silent? Where does debris come from? I want one of those words that the English stole from the French for reasons. I'll be home for French imposed on the English. Yeah, that's quite possible. You know, French could do that. True enough, true enough. Well, it's like, I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Dun, dun, dun. I heard there was a festival and I'm coming to it. Oh, there you go. Welcome back. Okay, then that's the question. Is that where the word debris comes from? Did it come from Roman conquerors? Or not Roman, French. French. What just got destroyed? The holiday roof. Noelle is letting herself in. Oh yeah, there's definitely just having learned German myself. There are some words where it's like, okay, this word came from German in some capacity. Aha, I was correct. It is a French word. I guessed a thing about a word correctly. Hooray! You were awarded no points. Oh well, it's fun. That is true. There's a lot of similarities between German and Dutch. Isn't that kind of the situation with, like, quote unquote Pennsylvania Dutch? It's just German. Dutch sounds silly to English and German speakers. Oh yeah, the Mickey's Christmas Carol. I haven't watched much of that. I usually at Christmas I watch Muppet Christmas Carol. The world's best Christmas Carol. Because the Muppets are in it. Yeah, Noelle is letting herself in, and because of that, they're having a bad time with it. And she did say, all the way back in early Eldritchrune thing, I want to find Mayor Holiday. Take me to your leader. Muppet Christmas Carol was so good. Well, I'm sad that the version we have on DVD doesn't have the When Love Is Gone song. Like, why did you take that out? This is actually, I know it makes kids cry, including me, but it's kind of important. Carol goes, there goes Mr. Asshole, there goes Mr. Somebody should do that. Can't we have a parody of, you know, the Scrooge song, but with Carol? If I gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be her. She bronzes all the snowflakes given to her by her daughter. And we've seen her come to work wielding a katana. That doesn't rhyme. I would need a better rhyme. Someone who's good at song parodies, please. Heed my words. You'd be very funny. I mean, I have kind of seen Mickey's Christmas Carol. I saw it at least once. At some point. It's good. I just think the Muppet one is the exceptionally good one. Here come that debris. Again. I'm pretty dang old too. I am also an old fart. I'm old. I'm old. It's me, I'm the Garrison now. Exactly, that's me. I'm old. I'm old. I'm bold. I'm sold. I'm cold. Garrison and playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm cold. I didn't say I was the oldest, I said I'm old. I'm bold and brash. Which, you know, kind of works if that is, you know, the... That's actually true, considering the drawing in the empty classroom. Where Toby's like, that's bold and brash. So, it turns out that was correct. Might need to stop for a break kind of soonish. Do I have another one after this? Yes, I do. Okay. Gem and the holograms. I want to see Garrison again. Bring back old man. The lesbians yearn for the old man and his ways. Important question. Can I turn into a hot warrior? Nice. Time to find a lesbian in need. It does, it does. They can do it. I believe in them. The children yearn for the old man. Finish this and then we'll take another stretch break. And then do our last session. While these guys are getting their house knocked down. Okay, stretch break time. Oh yeah, Rudy is bad things happen to Rudy here as well. Worse things happen to Carol, but bad things also happen to Rudy. I feel like I gotta add another scene of Carol just being the worst somewhere. So we really drive home the whole, yep, this is the bad thing happening to her kind of deal. Well, I guess that's also kind of reinforced in this scene, too. Yeah, Noelle's antlers are made of ice. She broke them, knocking the roof over. It'll grow back. Like, digging the antler into, like, you know, all these bricks and beams, it's probably gonna smash some ice off of it. Pour some water on, I'm just gonna bloop. Freezes back to normal. It'll grow back eventually. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna show it growing back over the course of the ending, so I'm not sure how fast it grows back. And I think all the events of this happen over the course of a day. Less than a day. But it might start to grow back a bit. Oh, it makes the antlers even more complicated because I have to remember how they're broken in all subsequent parts. I'm kind of curious if I need to carry that over into one scene in particular. Might be interesting, though. It might be interesting if we do it that way. It's Noelle time. And she's star of this part and the next part. She could work as a bard. She does singing. And she's good at it, according to Susie. Damn, man, we should have brought lighters and waved them and stuff. Okay, we basically have the soprano, the alto, the baritone, and the bass. So if I'm guessing that she's the soprano, that Noelle's soprano, and that Chiron is the alto. So I'm like, okay, who is the baritone and who is the bass? I'm guessing maybe Snowy's dad is baritone, and then Mr. Kattenheimer is the bass. Just based on size. Oh, some music notes, yes. I just know usually singing a cappella in church, oftentimes you would divide your singers into those categories. Okay, I will be right back for one more stretch and all that. Alrighty, I am back. I'll be doing one more session here. Ooh, new Nightlight video. I gotta watch that. Yeah, I was usually the alto. I tried to be the alto anyway. Not in high school, but in church. I didn't think I could do a great soprano, but sometimes, like, because the soprano is often the one that's, like, overpowering, that you hear the most, I would end up trying to do the soprano, as opposed to the alto, where you gotta kind of focus on being, you know, the harmony instead of the melody. You're kind of the downbeat, rather than what you hear most. And, you know, most people in church not you know, trained to do voices. You're just kind of hearing the song and doing it. Like poor Susie being like, how was I supposed to know when the song started and ended and what the lyrics were and how loud to sing? Like, were people yelling at you in church for not singing right? You need to shush their mouths. People are allowed to sing bad in church. I'm suddenly remembering, I think I had like a separated, you know, part song and paper trail, because they're singing in church, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just use church songs I know. And I think one of them was, you know, steadfast love of the Lord, never ceases, which is a song you sing in different parts. Yeah, they don't really teach them to you. They just kind of like expect you to, you know, play it by ear. Chris would sing swears. They would sing swears. I like how all three of them are like, oh, Chris should come caroling with us. Chris will sing swears. Like all three immediately come to that conclusion. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, if you're in church, it's kind of expected, okay, you're not a professional singer. You're doing this just to, like, you know, worship. So that's why I'm kind of like, excuse me, why were people yelling at Susie in church for not singing right? This is not a competition. She's just singing. Stop being mean to my girl. I'm criticizing her for everything. Well, one of the things that she is talking about in chapter 4, she's like, you know, they're talking about Noelle singing or just singing in the choir or whatever, and or she's like, "What? I'd have to sing in the choir? I don't think I can do that." You know, talking about wearing the robes, and she's like, "It's not like I didn't try." And then they were like, "How was I supposed to know that I was singing the wrong lyrics, or when the song started or stopped?" Or like, she kind of goes off on this bit where it's like, clearly she has tried to sing in church before, and somebody has criticized the way she was singing. Let her do her beautiful little song. This is that I don't remember who the enemy was. It's probably one of the musical enemies where both Susie and Ralsei can sing, and Ralsei does this little da, 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 and then Susie's like she's doing her best. Let her keep trying. The Mizzles. Oh, it's the Mizzles? Is that you singing against the Mizzles? Okay. I couldn't remember which enemy it was. I was just... Eventually I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to embezzle the whole time. Yeah, that makes sense. Plus the knight's a little bit nerfed in the new patch. Got a little bit of the nerf, at least on the sword tunnel, which is the one part I always had a lot of trouble with. The sword tunnel just wrecked me quite a bit. So it could be easier. It took me forever to realize. I did not realize this. The reason why the Mizzles are like asleep and then wake up when you make noise is because of in the light world, they're based on, you know, the holy water that's outside, but has an alarm, a motion sensor alarm by it, so that the cats won't drink the water. So they're asleep until you know, a sensor goes off, they see you or hear you, and then they wake up. I did not realize this for the longest time. I'm like, why is this sleeping thing going on with the Mizzles? Oh! That's why. Yep, Carol staring down a bad end here. And it's also why, like, if you're walking through the area with all the Mizzles and then you touch the little bell, ding, 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 they all wake up and are, like, go and attack you. You hit the sensor, Susie! Oh, darn it, did that thing again. Fine. Open it again. There we go. Okay, there's a lot going on this page. A lot of stuff flying all over the place. That's a pretty long chapter. I do wonder, like, what kind of stuff they're going to bring back to, you know, because if you recruit everybody in chapter 4, like, what are they bringing back to Castletown? Are they going to bring all the cups? Are they going to bring the holy water, because that's where the Mizzles are? Are we bringing the incense thing? Just rob the church. But not Jack, though. We need him for the festival. He's too big. Here comes the big deer. I do think it'd be cute if we saw Jack and Stein again in festival setting, so that it gets to be all actually scary. My face is too scary. It's perfect for this time. You see my pumpkin. What the heck was that pumpkin? That was scary. Just kidding. That was mine. Smiley face. That's another song I haven't seen many remixes of. I haven't seen many remixes of A Dark Zone. People have kind of left that one. Like, come on, it's all jaunty. That'd be perfect for a remix. I gotta get a good orchestral remix of that. True. Give me all of them. Give me heavy metal. Give me jazz. Give me orchestral. Give me dubstep. I don't care. We're still in the cups, the holy water, the incense, the bells, the feather pens, the prayer candles, the organ somehow. We're doing a lot. Yeah, we got recruits across, like, both, you know, the regular Dark World and also Susie's Dark World. They all count. We got bluegrass. We can do every kind of genre. I have to think that it carries on over there. Okay. I don't know how they're gonna take the organ. Like that's gonna be a bit of, that seems like harder even than more difficult than Jack. Maybe it's just the concept of organ music we're taking with us. That counts. We're running out of room in the thing. Soup attack. Is it my favorite soup? What's my favorite soup? Actually, I'm gonna make soup tonight. That's gonna be my dinner. I'm gonna make some vegetable soup. Reminder, soup attack will become real life. I gotta make soup. I haven't done it in a while, because the problem with soup kind of takes a while to make. No, I like soup. Oh, potato soup's good. I like leek and potato. I haven't had that in a while. I can get a good leek and potato soup. I would have that. But no, this is a vegetable soup. I do like I like beef stew. Beef stew's good. I haven't had that in a while either. I do have a slow cooker I haven't used in like 5 years. Probably should use that for a beef stew or something. Not exactly the best weather for beef stew though. It's summer. Wrong thing. Instead of soup attack, it's reindeer attack. Ice reindeer attack. The forbidden path began with giant ice deer. Actually, it began with Susie, so she came in second. I just realized that's something else I need to do. I was gonna have bread with my soup, and they did not deliver the bread they were supposed to. So I gotta go to the store and get some bread. Because they did not deliver my bread. And it would be very sad to have soup with no breads with it. I mean, you can do it, but it would be sad. I'm gonna get some fresh bread. Super fresh. Well, meanwhile, it's like, oh, speaking of super fresh food for me. And this can opener to your house. Bread. I know they did not give me the breads. It was a disappointment. This one took a while because of all the debris. The debris. And hopefully this will all be... Ah, I forgot her. There, I'll get her in a sec. I forgot that one. It's fine. This will always be the easiest way to do fills, is do the outline, go around that, and then ta-da! They're done. And let's move on to this page. Mayor versus giant deer. Who will win? Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. It's not going to go very well for her. You can draw whatever you want for it. Eldritchrune is fun to draw, even though a little tricky. All the shaggy hairs and pointy bits. Shaggy pointy bits. That sums it up. Yeah, thank you for reminding me that I need to go to the store and get bread for my soup. I probably might have forgotten otherwise, honestly. Until I got to like, okay, it's time to make soup. No bread! Ooh, I want to see that. I will say the next couple of Eldritchrune parts, I'll probably have a bit more Suzelle stuff going on in the background. It's been a while since it's come up. So they gotta have some cute little moments. So that will be coming up more. It's just like, oh boy, the giant horrors are doing a weird snuggle again. I don't know what to do about that. Ugh, now I gotta get back to the pointy bits. Also, oh boy, this is gonna be fun to do shading for in the background. Wee-hee. I'll get it done eventually. Got all that. We'll have to stop soon because I'm going to need to get my lunch and all that. And tackle the other things I gotta do today. Eldritchrune does have a lot of characters to keep track of, and we're adding more every chapter. Your town's love is getting ridiculous. There are so many people here. I will admit I'm curious to see how some of these interactions go, because Chapter 4 Darkners are an interesting bunch compared to the ones we've had so far. Like, oh crap. Yep, they are paired together. You gotta have Jockington with Caddy. You gotta get his sports blessing. He gets to grow a beard. Just like the prophecy said. Get around all of Noelle's floofy hair. Floofy furs. So fluffy, but will still kill you. Like Stitch or something. Nah, Stitch won't kill you. Just make your life annoying. Again, I still find it extremely funny that for a long time I've been like, Caddy and Jockington are going to be relevant. People have been like, no, that's dumb. They don't even have a voice thing or facial thing. And I'm like, they're going to be relevant. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, no, Caddy and Jockington are super relevant. I'm like, I told you. I've been known. Y'all didn't believe me. That's a pretty full party. That's a lot of peoples. I wonder if we ever get a proper 4-person party. We kind of got one with Garrison joining in at the end. But that was very, very brief. And that just, again, shows how cool Garrison is. The coolest. More pointy bits with Noelle. It's gonna be pointy bits for a while. Yeah, the prophecy in Paper Trail is already way off the rails. We didn't even have further prophecy stuff yet. We had just very basic info for Chapter 1. And there wasn't quite that sense of a fate going on. That things must happen this way kind of thing. We got more of that further into the story. You can do whatever you want forever. Alright, I think once I finish this page, if I can finish it, that'll be where we stop. And it'll be pretty good, because we'll have, I think, another 6 or 7 pages done. At least in this category of doing the fills for the characters. She is, in fact, yelling at a 20-foot tall reindeer that wrecked her house. She has her reasons. Although it is a bit of a mystery how the yelling is happening, considering that humans cannot normally understand the beast. What is the deal? It's not about being. She's not trying to scare Noelle off. She's got other things she's talking about. If I yell loud enough, this thing will go away. It will not go away. That will not work. Okay, what do we got left? Oh boy. Can we finish this in the time we have? I don't know. So I do gotta stop soon. Gotta get my lunch. More backstory. Yep. Told folks a lot of it would happen, and in the end, it didn't even matter. Well, it did matter. Yes, more backstory. Whee! Yep, in the end, it doesn't even matter. True. Knowing what we do with Carol and Des and Canon, I'm definitely curious to see how this plays out and how, like, if Canon ends up being just total opposite of stuff that happens in Eldritchrune, I think it'd be very funny. It's opposite world. We'll find out eventually. Hopefully more next year, which will get here before we know it. Although I wish we knew when in the year it was coming out. Please do not have it be in December. Please have it be earlier than that. Yeah, we're only going to be waiting a year. Might be a little over a year, might be a little less than a year at this point. Please do not. Toby, do not do that. I know it would be thematically appropriate, but do not, because at Christmas time I am usually with my family. I will not be able to play it as soon as it's out if that happens. And I will not be able to avoid the internet. Oh yeah, I got plenty of stuff to play in the meanwhile. I will not lack for games. There will be a plenty. I mean, yes, it is more profitable, but it's mostly a matter of, can you do that before I leave? Please don't release this when I'm going to not be at my house, so that I can play it at my house. On my computer. That is all I ask. Oh man, I don't know how you'd be able to dodge spoilers, especially after 3 and 4. That's crazy. I tried to do spoil stuff for a while. Valentine's would be interesting. We have gotten a lot of ship stuff, so that would be a fascinating thing. Check these kids out on the Ferris wheel. We hope nothing bad happens to them after they profess love to each other. I hope fate doesn't come in and just be a big jerk to everybody. Yeah, middle of next year sounds right, but it depends. It depends on how far along they are on Chapter 5. Which, that could be anywhere. We haven't gotten that much talk about what's going on with Chapter 5. And who knows with 6 and 7. Oh yeah, well I tried to get through the whole game, and first day it came out, and I know I definitely missed the secret bosses then, but that's why I go back and do them later. I don't even have a very good excuse for it. I just kind of missed all those extra piano puzzles. I did get lost in the Chapter 4 area, I think, quite a bit. It's a pretty big area. There's a lot going on with that. It's pretty large. Okay, yeah, I am going to try and finish this page, and then we will be done for today. I'm very close to doing it. I don't understand why the Reddit is still spoiling everything. I'm like, it's been like 3 months. I think you can take the spoiler tags off. I think it's fine. Alright. Do this real quick. Sometimes. I was spoiling stuff in the tags up until like, I think it was about a month and a half. Basically, I spoiled stuff until my friend Renee was able to play the game with me, and then I stopped. So I'm like, okay. And I've not gotten any complaints about spoilers since then. So I kept it going for a while. And it went for quite a while. Wait, you thought there'd be like no Dark World in Chapter 4? And the chapter would just end with like, we did stuff in the light world and that's it? that would be very short, and people would probably complain. That would be quite a shortness. Chapter 4 was very long. And I knew Chapter 4 was going to have a very long Light World section, but I did not think that was going to be the only section we got. Especially since we saw ahead of time the stuff from the Chapter 4 Dark World. We saw images from it in the trailer. And people were speculating for a while, they're like, why the heck are their colors different? Turns out it's because it was Susie's Dark World, and we're still not quite sure why her making that Dark World made their colors different. They said, the lighting has changed. Have you noticed the lighting has changed? More pointy bits. Pointy bits. Almost done. I mean, maybe, but it doesn't really look like that correlates to much, like, in the Dark World itself. It seems like everything has shifted along a blue hue. Or shifted towards the red, I guess? I think it's shifted towards the red hue. I don't know what Birdley's would have been like. Everything would have been glow in the dark. And I still think we might have Noelle make one, which will be interesting. Flashbang. I think Noelle's still a possibility. All the kids get to make their own Dark Worlds. All of them. And neon everywhere. Woo! It'll be very garish. Let's look like the inside of a arcade from the 90s where it's all dark and kind of smells weird and the carpet's like, wow! Love me a good arcade carpet. Okay. Alright, we're done. Once we do all the fills here. This is on page 4. Pretty good. Bertha, you can't make a dark fountain. Why not? It's going to hurt all of our eyes. It's going to be so garish and terrible to look at. Okay, and with that, we did about 6 or 7 pages today. Might be 7, actually. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I gotta stretch and all that other stuff. It is time for doneness on this part. Hopefully next time I do another stream, for Eldritchrune, it'll be on the garrison scene. I'd like to get back to that. It's got to finish the commissions first. But we're making progress, though. Progress is being made all over the place. Wah, 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 wah. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and for chatting with me as always. Again, there will be more Mother 3 on Friday. There will be more art streams, definitely on Sunday. Maybe also this week, if I have the time, and I'm like, let's do it. But yes, thank you for being here. You're all super cool. And for following and subscribing and all the other stuff you do. So yes, I hope the rest of your day goes very well. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I will see you later.